Hello, my fellow patriots. This is Alex with Disabled Vets Perspective, and I'm finishing up with Great Informer over there. But I wanted to go ahead and at least jump on that way. I know I've got people that sit and wait for me over on Facebook, and some people. Nope, there it is. Let me kill that volume. There it went. But anyway, so yeah, I got people that wait for me on Facebook and stuff. So I have all my times pretty well set, and I don't like to leave them waiting or wondering. So I'm gonna obviously let Pete finish up and do his thing. But I just wanted to get on here and get ready anyway, because it won't be long and they'll finish up and doing their thing. I'll put that link in there for Pete. 12B Georgia, good to see you, man. All right, Mark B jumped in here. C's here, Steak 59. Margot, of course, Margot's here. Good to see you. Dan McElroy, welcome. Dirty Rotten Imbecile should be coming back. He set his reminder, so we'll see if that works. Bobby Fisher and Preacher, good to see you. Hate to cut off Pete like that, but like I say, I like to get on and be up when I tell people I'm up. Great Informer, good to see you, brother. Didn't mean to jump on you, but I need to stick with my times for people that wait for me, because that's how you can. For one thing, with all the suppression that is done through YouTube, it's important that if you do have specific times that you do your shows, that you stick to it. YouTube rejected my comment. That's funny. I just put my link up there. So that is really funny, actually. You can't have anybody join you on here. Let's see if it does it again. Great Informer, good to see you. Duke Raw, welcome. DM, welcome. Good to see you. There's Dirty Rotten Imbecile. I knew he'd make it back. Auctions for you. Thanks for posting my link over there. Appreciate that. Duke is over here on D Live too. He's got a twin. So anyway, so there's going to be some interesting stuff. Inkfish, how you doing? Deidre, welcome. Pete and I are going to go over a couple of things. Jeff, good to see you. Let's see who else jumped in here. Grateful Grandma, welcome. Video is still buffering every few seconds. At least isn't here. Yeah, there's a lot of pushback on these videos. Rebel Jack, good to see you. Dangerous Freedom, welcome. Northern Tiger just jumped in here. Good to see you. Yeah, Duke for president. So everybody remember that. Obviously 2024 though. We got to keep it where it is. Blue Lou, welcome. Johnny Rhodes, good to see you. All right, I got some interesting stuff pulled up. We're going to be talking about some of the news that's going on, but we're also going to be talking about some of what Pete started talking about on his channel. And with that being said, without further ado or don't, ladies and gentlemen, Pete the Patriot. We're also going to be talking about if he gets a successful link in here. He looks so dark. Can you hear me now? There he is. Whoop, whoop. There he is. I'm down here in the dungeon.
Okay, I'm here.
Let's go. Grateful Grammy, I blocked Cindy Ben a while ago. Show how she's back commenting and taking crap on my stuff again on YouTube. I hear myself. Hey. You okay? Come here. Should be right back. All right, so you brought up some interesting points on your show. I still hear myself real bad.
Echo for me?
Yeah, I think so. I don't get it often, but sometimes it comes back at me pretty good.
I don't think anything's changed, but I will do this.
I don't hear it.
You don't hear it now? I
don't hear it now.
Oh, okay.
No, so whatever you changed, you did well.
I didn't change anything. Okay. I unwound my headphones. Whatever.
Well, that might have done
it. All right, go ahead.
All right.
Go for it.
you were talking in yours about, well, that was, first of all, with Great Informer, that was interesting stuff he was bringing up.
Oh yeah.
As far as people standing up, I think it's getting closer. I do have a little echo still, so.
Okay, let me try this. Hold on. Let me do this.
He's going to do this.
Okay, how about now?
I don't know. I haven't said anything yet. Wait a minute. I just said something. Oh, I said something again. Here we go. No, I don't hear an echo.
Good.
All right. Now, as far as this lockdown goes, I think that people in general are deciding to give the president the 30 days, and with that being fully understood that that's really it. And so,
yeah,
I think when you hear May Day, it's going to mean something totally different in the future if we don't get this country back open again. You know, you hate to think of things like that, but I realize myself, and just listening to other people, preppers, people that are former military, I think their patience is on edge right now, and they're willing to give a little time, but not. I don't think we're going to go beyond the 1st of May.
I don't think so either. That's like what the Great Informer was saying. It should be the next 3 weeks. We should be up and running, and everything should be working in the next 3 weeks. I don't think that you can keep an entire country of 350 million people in this state. You can't do it.
No. I mean, if you listen to the left, they want to keep everybody in their house for the next 20 years.
Yeah.
And they're just absurd with it. I mean, some of them are talking the end of July. Other ones are talking about maybe we'll start over again on the new year. I mean, what kind of logic is that? These are millionaires telling paycheck to paycheck workers, you guys are fine. Just stay where you at.
Yeah. And I said this in my show before, is that these people can do this because they can look at their bank account and say, yeah, I can withstand 2, 4, 6, 8 months, 10 months, a year, 10 years without having to have a paycheck coming in. Some of us can only have, if we don't go out and work and do what we do, we don't eat. Period.
Right. Yeah, well, then we got to think about that stimulus bill having a 25% pay increase for the millionaires. You know, the millionaires and the billionaires, they're well taken care of. But yeah.
Here's something that
the millionaires and the billionaires.
That's right. Here's something that they were talking about this morning with Jim Clyburn, who is a waste of space in Congress as it is. But this is what they were talking about with him, that Congress now has to do everything remotely. They need to vote remotely. And I want to know if you see where
what they do now.
No. They have to have a quorum, which is a certain amount of people physically there to have a vote. That's the Constitution says that. That's what a quorum call is.
Yeah, but
right now they want to get.
What I'm saying, they like to wait. They like to wait until people are sick. They like to wait until they've got other engagements, and then they jam votes through when they don't have the numbers that are supposed to be there. Nobody catches that.
No,
but that's how the Federal Reserve got passed. It got passed by a very small number of people that happen to be there at 4:05 in the morning. So they don't follow the rules. They don't follow the laws. It's been obvious from way back.
Right. And they say the rules of the Senate or the rules of the House. Who makes the rules? The Constitution tells you how many people need to be there when certain things happen, But as far as the rules go, the Congress people make the rules.
Yeah.
That's the problem. Now, the problem I see with them voting remotely, like voting from their state where they don't have to come to DC and sit in the chamber and do it, is that anybody can vote. Anybody can vote for them. We won't even know if a senator is still alive.
Exactly. You know, like Supreme Court. Never mind that. I won't. No.
But exactly. We don't even know if Ruth Bader Ginsburg is actually reading all these papers and doing all this stuff and making all these decisions. Or is it somebody, a surrogate of hers? Yes, she may be alive on a ventilator, but she's still making decisions via proxy. That's not right.
Right.
All right. So
let's see here. Lou, keyboard warrior, the governments are all going to you know where. Look, GMO, foods, fluoride, water, chemtrails, vaccine, war, abortion, meds, famines, economic warfare, mind control, warfare, BPA, plastics, radiation, wake up. Yes, everything that they can do to kill off the useless eaters, and then you know we're all going to be jumping up and down and begging for Bill Gates vaccine soon enough, so we've got that to look forward to. But we're in a bad way right now. Propus, good to see you. Anyway, so there has been some things that have come up in the news, and it's interesting to watch the battle for control of the masses being conducted by the left and the right. I don't know if we're even at the two-party system anymore. We have two totally different groups of people in the country. One of them is a basically free-for-all, and the other one is we need order and structure and law. And the free-for-all is fighting for control. They want a free-for-all for themselves, but they want to control the masses.
Well, there is no two-party system. We're not in a two-party system anymore, because the party of the right, the party of the Republic, the Republican Party, some of those people are just as bad or not worse than Democrats.
Like Burr selling off his shares.
Whatever happened with that? It just disappeared.
Yeah, well,
they made hundreds of millions of dollars. Yeah.
What has happened is he's probably been offered protection by the psychopaths, and with that offer of protection, he's probably going to give them something, and then in exchange for that, they'll keep him out of the headlines as much as they can. But it's like, I've got this thing here, and this was April 6th on 2020, and this is so obvious, it just drips with stupidity. But it says Democrats beg Trump to become a dictator, and it's all obviously a setup. It is obviously a setup. They want him to take complete control, and then they can go, look, we told you he's a dictator. Yeah. It's the way they do things.
When Governor Cuomo, ventilators, masks, the curve, that guy, when he said that the president needs to enact the Defense Production Act now. He needs to do it now. He needs to take control now. Basically, he was saying that exactly what you just said. You need to be a dictator because otherwise you're going to kill a lot of people. But then you got to see past what he's saying. Once he does that, then he's a dictator. And you've proved every left-leaning person right. Every radio talk show host that leans left is going to say, look at it, he's a dictator. I told you this was going to happen. I mean, it was so obvious.
But some people their eyes glaze over and they just don't see what is right in front of them.
No.
But I mean, you can tell what they're doing with this virus because here's another headline. Biden advisor's embarrassing tweet about trying Trump for crimes against humanity for touting hydroxychloroquine.
Ugh.
Yeah, crimes against humanity because he wants to save lives, and there's a medication that has been proven, and I believe the numbers are close to 100% with this medication being given to patients and having a full recovery. But not only that, there's another doctor in Europe that is pumping people full of vitamin C, which the big pharmaceutical companies don't have control of alternative medicines and supplements as much. So they're pissed about it, but they're finding that excessive doses of vitamin C are also curing this stuff. So they're going to lose this one.
Now, this is one of the things that I didn't even tell you I was going to talk about, but was the hydroxychloroquine. There's people coming out on YouTube, on Twitter, on Facebook, on every social media platform saying they gave me the hydroxychloroquine with zinc in the hospital.
Yep.
And within hours, I was off of a ventilator. Not days, not weeks, but hours. I was off of the ventilators. And within 3 or 4 days, I was sitting up. And within a week, I was out of the hospital. And here I am now. And this is not just one person. Yeah. This is people over and over and over and over again. The thing is that you got to catch them posting this stuff before they pull it down. That's the thing.
Right.
Now, this morning.
Yeah, except for.
Go ahead.
Over on Fox News, there was an actual interview with Laura Ingraham where she interviewed a doctor that had apparently 1,500 patients in a case study. And he says that he has kept all of them off of ventilators. None of them had to be intubated. And some of them didn't even require the full dose, the full regimen. Usually when you are in a treating disease or illness, you have a regimen. And with antibiotics, it's like 5 days, 7 days, 10 days. And sometimes with a very bad infection, you get 14 days. Well, I think what they're doing is like a 7-day regimen with the hydroxychloroquine. And he said with some of his patients, he didn't even require them to be on the full regimen. So this stuff is healing it up so fast that these people don't even have a chance really to feel real sick.
Okay. Now, you understand that the president of the United States is not going to tout something that's going to get Americans killed. I don't care if it was Obama. I don't care if it was Bush. I don't care if it was whoever. The president of the United States is not going to say, if you do this, I know this works, and then you die from it. He's not going to do that. And not even Trump is that stupid. Okay? Right. Because you're killing off your own constituents. But here's the thing.
Right.
This morning, I was up at 3:30 this morning, and I was watching. I do my regimen every morning. Mainstream media channels. MSNBC. Unproven. That's the word. Unproven.
Yeah. Yep.
Bloomberg News.
That's
unproven
the Mockingbird
drug.
Word of the week.
Unproven. Mika Brzezinski from MSNBC on Morning Joe went off on a rant that said, why is the president pushing this chloroquine drug when it is unproven? What you need to do is you need to follow the money. Follow the money and see why the president is pushing this drug so much. So there's your narrative. It's not the president has the best interest in the American people. It's that he needs to line his pockets with a drug that's readily available all over the damn place. Follow the money.
Yeah, don't people realize that he's a billionaire?
These people are
I think people
disgusting.
really sincerely forget this man is a billionaire. When you have
Yeah.
billions in your bank account, unless you're George Soros or Bloomberg, you don't really need more. And if he
You don't.
needed more money, why would he be donating his check every quarter to a different department within the government?
Because they they
People
don't
can't
talk
see
about
past that either.
Yeah, they don't talk about that. There was only one other president who did that. One other president. That was John F. Kennedy, who did not take a salary. He was required by law, which Trump is too, to take a salary from government. That salary is $1.
$1.
Trump has to take it according to the Constitution. But how would it look? How can the narrative be pushed if this guy is a greedy, he's only in it for the money and to enrich himself? If he was giving away his salary, we can't say that narrative. How would that look? That would blow it out of the water. It's almost to the point where it's embarrassing. Their theories and their narratives are embarrassing.
Falling for it.
I don't know how. I don't know how.
Yeah. Freeman Pennington joined me in here, and I appreciate that. Also, the conservative patriot. Good to see you, Phil Turner. And the Great Informer says, please send. And I don't know what, I'm not sure what he meant by please send. So, Great Informer, if you
see the chat
hit me on that, I'm wondering, because I was talking about the 1,500 patients in his case study. And then he said, please send. If you're wondering about the article, it was on Fox News on Laura Ingraham. She actually interviewed the man. So that's not one that they're going to be easily removing. So you should be able to get it there. Let's see. The powers that can only do what we allow them to do. Yeah, I mean, they'll only do what we accept. And pretty soon it's going to be, hopefully they get done before the 30 days. That's what I'm thinking. Born Eraser, how you doing? Drone, done playing around, joined us. We got a pretty good house in here today.
It is now viral.
What?
Viral. 339 arrests for the human trafficking in LA.
Well, that's good. Right now, just came up on my wife's phone, 329 arrests. And how much? 339 arrests linked to trafficking in California as we speak.
Okay, that could have been the helicopters over there. They arresting people?
Could have been. What exactly? What exactly are you doing?
Yeah, you see me over here. I'm right here.
I can see you from my house.
That's right.
Oh man, God bless America. Just throwing it up there. But
good.
Eagles versus Coyotes. All right, so getting back over here to the headlines. I guess we've talked about him being tried for crimes against humanity because, God help a man that wants to have people live. That's disgusting. It goes against everything they stand for. Another one, this hateful Maya biatch from MSNBC, this Joy Reid. And I know that people will say, oh, you just hate her because she's black. But no, I don't.
No, I would hate her if she was white.
Racism. Yeah. Okay, she's a disgusting specimen. And
Mika Brzezinski is almost transparent. You can almost see through her. She's that white. And I can't stand her guts. Call me a racist.
Yeah.
Call me a racist.
Right.
But go ahead.
Well, she is saying, this is Joy Reid saying, she expresses hope that Fox News can face legal trouble over virus coverage, but there's a problem. The push has been on over the last couple of weeks to blame Fox News for allegedly downplaying the threat from the Wuhan coronavirus. 74 journalist professors wrote a letter. It's always the number 74, and 27 of these people
Yeah.
Anyway, to the network alleging Fox viewers have been regularly subjected to misinformation from some of the network's anchors and show hosts. I bet it's only the right-leaning show hosts, but that's just me. Anyway, it says rival news networks and outlets like the Washington Compost, CNN, and MSNBC have also bashed Fox News for what they say has been deceptive reporting about the pandemic. They're not lying enough. I don't need to continue. You got the point. But here's another point.
Yes.
This is also these kind of statements and this kind of activity by the deep state media also could justify the eliminating of broadcast television so that only the emergency broadcast system could be brought up so that the real information is allowed to be brought to the people.
Oh my God. You want to hear something
same page
funny?
as I am, right?
You want to hear something hysterically funny? Saturday.
I would love to hear something funny.
On Saturday's Joy Reid show, I just happened to be flipping through the channels and I caught her show there. She said something about the United States healthcare system. In the United States healthcare system, they're worried about whether you have to pay for this virus test or whether you have the virus or you're in the hospital. You know what? My parents are from London. They have what they call universal health care. They don't have to worry about it. They can just go to the hospital if they have the symptoms and it's all paid for. Why isn't that in this country? Well, the first thing I thought about was, hey, Joy Reid, I hope your parents aren't over 60 years old, because if they are, they're dead. Because they're not putting people over 60 years old in Italy, in London, in France, on ventilators. It's now policy. So I hope that Twit's parents are like 54 and 55, because maybe they'll have a chance to live with their universal health care. You dumb.
Yep, that's the one.
That's the one.
Disabled Vets Perspective, breaking news. Stake 59, Boris Johnson moved to ICU.
Yes, I just got that.
That sucks.
That
All right,
suck.
well, here's the dealio, yo. These people that released this virus, and I say released this virus because it's a bioweapon, and I'm sick of people saying you don't have any proof of that, because I've done a lot of research, and I do have proof of that. And, I've looked at it.
Proof.
Yeah, so we need to watch which leaders are being targeted by this thing, because apparently there's more than one strain. There's a 17 and then there's a 19, and they may be selectively dosing people with one from COVID-17, because 17 is much more deadly. That's the one that they originally wanted to release on the public, but their vials were switched. They already knew that this professor was doing this, so they switched vials on him. So he released or coordinated the release of the lesser of the two evils, but they still have access to 17. So I'm wondering if they're going to try to start taking out the conservative leaders and the free thinkers with this other one, and try to keep people alive on the 19. While we're fighting one battle, they're fighting another. It is a silent war right now, and it's being fought with bioweapons, and also by media covering everything up. But
has anybody
anyway, I just think that's a possibility.
Has anybody heard anything from what the hell is her name? She just got her show canceled. Ellen DeGeneres just got her show canceled, from what I heard.
I haven't heard that yet. I've never followed her, so I just don't have any idea.
Why? Yeah. Where are all these celebrities that a couple of weeks ago were so out there doing all these PSAs and doing all this stuff? Have we ever heard anything from Tom Hanks? Where's Tom Hanks? Is he alive? Is he dead? Have we heard anything from Madonna? Is she still making bathtub videos? You would think that they would have nothing to do but sit on their phones or in front of their computers like us loser YouTubers and make videos.
Right.
Because that's what we do, right? We're losers. We do this stuff. Where are all these people at?
Well, the mainstream,
Where's his
mainstream
wife?
media had to actually admit it was a YouTuber that originally broke the story about the release of the Wuhan virus into society.
I did that story.
I bet that really stung because, yeah. So that had to sting a little bit for them to have to admit that because of us stupid, ignorant, uneducated masses that do these YouTube videos because we're just a bunch of conspiracy theory rednecks.
That's right. You on the YouTubes? You're on the YouTubes. You don't know. What do you know?
YouTubes. Right.
Oh man. You know what? Joe Biden, he's sitting in his basement in front of a camera. I can guarantee you I have a better setup than Joe Biden does. I guarantee it. I bet you I have better studio lights, better computers, and better everything else and microphones than Joe Biden does. And you know what? It's even better is I can string a sentence together coherently.
Weird.
Did you hear what Joe Biden said about the captain of the Theodore Roosevelt that got fired? Did you hear what he said?
I don't think I caught that one. Please enlighten me. I don't think I caught that.
I am going to enlighten you. This brain trust who wants to be president said that he shouldn't be fired from his job. He should get a commendation. He should get a medal for breaking the chain of command, for not going to his superior, for going to a broadcast news network, by letting the enemy know.
Right. I did a whole section of this on my show last night.
Letting the enemy know that we have an entire carrier that is not battle ready without going to his admiral.
Right.
He should get a medal for that.
Yeah.
God help us and God help anybody in the military if Joe Biden is your commander in chief, because he's just going to say, hey, hold on, China. Hold on, China. The soldiers are right here. Let me get you the coordinates exactly so you can bomb the shit out of them. Hold on a second. God help you if he becomes your commander in chief. Anyway, go ahead.
I don't see it, but I see them trying to squeeze somebody in there at the last minute still, and we've warned about that, and they've been quiet about it. But you can see the writing's on the wall, like everything else. That's where they're going with it.
Mm-hmm.
But anyway, so here's an article from the town hall, and it says, "Beware the creeps who enjoy their new pandemic power." And just in the headline, I don't know if we even need to read the article because we know what the hell he's talking about. Gun shops being closed in California, as an example. We're seeing the two powers struggle to go against each other. Who can gain the most power and control of their own masses, each state? And what I'm noticing is the president is staying the hell out of the states. It's the never interfere with an enemy that's destroying themselves.
Absolutely.
And these governing the wet bar of soap, right? Governors in the liberal states that are squeezing the wet bar of soap, and the people are not stupid. They're seeing it. You've got people in the right-leaning states that are trying to very gently caress the soap so that they don't come across as tyrannical. There's a huge separation between the two right now.
Mm-hmm. Do you watch I don't know if you watch Newsmax, the Chris Salcedo show. He's a Texas radio guy who's on Newsmax TV, and he made a point this morning. Okay. He made a point this morning that was I thought was just wonderful. He had the mayor or the governor of Michigan, some chick named Whitless or Whitmore or Whit something or other. And of course, she's a Democrat.
Whitless works.
Yeah, Whitless is good enough. She's a Democrat, and she was going on with Jake Tapper about how the president is failing in everything, and that he should have been prepared to issue all this stuff to the states and so on and so forth. And then Chris Salcedo, he has a big TV behind him where you watch the interview. So he turns back around to his microphone and says, if she's blaming the president that he should have everything for the states, why are there 50 governors? Why not just have the president run the states and you don't even need to be there? And I thought that was a great friggin' point, that they're blaming the president for not having enough stuff. Who's the one who's running the state? Not the president, the governors are. But you do notice how Gavin Newsom is kissing ass. Gavin Newsom is kissing ass, right?
Yeah, that dude's scared to death, but his state, your state is still got more tyranny right now, more crony, more laws that are against the Constitution than any other state in the union, but he's not getting a hint with that.
No, but we only have 15,000 cases of coronavirus, and we only have 389 deaths or whatever it is because the president is sending the equipment here. He's sending the stuff here. There's a reason for that, and that'll come up later on.
Look at Como, though, when he did that interview. Where are the masks? And he's got a wall of masks behind him, boxes and boxes that are, probably 100 feet deep and 8 feet tall. And he's sitting in front of this going, where's our masks? And it's like, are you really that stupid to think that people aren't going to say, well, what's over your shoulder there, dude?
See, the sad part is if you try, as a governor of a state, try and blame the president of the country for your shortfallings as a governor, it doesn't work that way. It doesn't work that way. And that's what Cuomo's trying to do. He's trying to say, that's why he repeats himself 3 times whenever he says it. That's a very, very, very known propaganda tactic. Masks, masks, masks. Ventilators, ventilators, ventilators. Flatten the curve, flatten the curve, flatten the curve. Look at any propagandist throughout history. Listen to their speeches, and they repeat the same thing over and over and over and over and over again, because they're saying that the president needs more masks, more ventilators, more this. The president needs this. The president needs this. Not him, the president. It's very smart on Cuomo's part because he's right into it.
Yeah, but this leads me right into this next headline here, which I found truly fascinating because I saw this from the beginning too. We see the press briefing every day from the president. I try to pay attention to it because he gives codes in these briefings, and if you're paying attention, you catch the codes. Well, this one here, the headline is, reporters without masks grill Trump about not wearing a mask. These people are really that stupid.
Yeah.
Why aren't you wearing a mask? Why are you standing so close to the vice president? Why don't you isolate yourself in a cellar, have a little wine, and stay there until we're done with this out here in the big country where we're trying to destroy it? That's what I get from it.
Now, if the president of the United States, who's a germaphobe, a self-proclaimed germaphobe, not from just this virus, but from the 1980s, look at some of the crap that he's done, TV and stuff. He doesn't want to touch anybody. I'm a germaphobe. I wash my hands 10 times a day, blah, 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 blah. If that dude goes on national television and says, the CDC is recommending that you wear a mask, but Personally, I'm not going to do that. What does that tell you? What does that tell you?
It kind of tells you maybe this thing's more inflated than it needs to be.
Absolutely.
Hello,
Absolutely.
Kelly 22. Yeah.
Hi, Kelly.
Well, we've already heard, you even mentioned it back on your show here almost an hour ago, that the curve is flattening in New York. Well,
Yeah.
I'm sure they did that to try to say, oh, yeah, Mr. President, well, look at this, because of him saying, our goal is to save lives. And then his sycophants over there, the doctor and the Fauci guy that adores Hillary Clinton and gives his little deep state signs on stage and stuff. If you guys are missing that, you got to catch up. But these two are trying to inflate it right on the stage, right next to the president. They're trying to give the illusion that's being carried by the mainstream media. And here's my disclaimer. I know that the first thing is people are going to say, you keep saying this is all misleading and all this other. You say there's no disease. I've never said there's no disease. I said the disease was released by somebody. And
Yes.
Once they get this hydroxychloroquine out into the public, this thing's going to go poof in the night. Douglas Ducote, a friend of mine and fellow YouTuber, he and his wife are suffering with symptoms. They got tested, I think, day before yesterday, maybe Thursday, and they're waiting. They got to wait till this next week to get their test results. And that's Louisiana. So that's another state where you've got a governor and a mayor saying, well, the president didn't do enough. You have the mayor of New Orleans. I think it's the mayor of New Orleans that says, well, the president didn't tell me I shouldn't do the Mardi Gras parades. Mm-hmm. This is the kind of stupid shit we're dealing with, because you've got city leaders and state leaders that are saying the president didn't tell them to do this stuff. Again, you're going back to your question. Why the hell do they need to be there if they want the president to make all the decisions for their state?
Now, here's something
anyway,
that Ducote said on his video, that Doug Ducote said on his video, the last one that he did, when he went to go to the testing place, and he said that the president said that the tests for COVID-19 are free. You walk into a clinic, you walk into a hospital, right. You walk into whatever they are, the drive-thrus, they're free. So to have somebody charge them,
yep.
And I don't care how good Doug Ducote's health insurance is, Doug Ducote didn't get sick with the COVID-19 on purpose. Either did his wife or either did anybody else in his family. And the president of the United States said it was free. I would have took the bill and I would have shoved it up the guy's nose and I would have said, here, you can go someplace else. Give me my results. You want to take it up with the president.
I'd have shoved it somewhere. It might have ended up at his nose, but it wouldn't have started there. I guarantee you.
I'm trying to be polite.
Yeah. They're playing games.
There's ladies in here.
Here's conspiracy. What did I say? Anyway, here's where I get into the conspiracy theory thing that we're talking about. For one, the areas that are having the biggest outbreaks are hardened left-leaning, left-control groups, states, regions. They're also, if you look at the trafficking map of where the highest cases of trafficking are coming from, they also coincide with the largest outbreaks of COVID-19, almost like they were trying to use COVID-19 as a scrub to get rid of the information about their trafficking. And the areas are having huge blossoming outbreaks, but they're also the places where little people are moved from place to place. That's where they have major problems in this country. So I'm wondering if the two are related. And there's a conspiracy theory in me.
Okay.
Here we go.
Oh, man. You see, you know what? Your producer just came over 10 minutes ago and said, breaking news, 335 arrests in California that has to do with child what?
Sure
What?
isn't playground activity.
Okay. Child trafficking. 330
Well, there it
something
went.
arrests. Okay.
339.
339, according to your producer. Now, is that something that's just, I don't know, coincidence? It's not coincidence.
Of course.
Okay, I'm sorry.
Oh, no,
I'm sorry. It's not
absolutely not.
coincidence. It's not coincidence. We are not conspiracy theorists. I don't know if anybody watched Citizen Man's show last night. This guy came ready to play.
Yeah.
He came ready to play. He had graphs, he had maps, he had this, he had that, he had the other thing, and two of the one things that we always talk about. Proof. He had proof.
Right. Yep.
Okay. Why
Weird,
are
right?
you calling me a conspiracy theorist when I can look at seismographical charts of what a nuclear explosion and what a earthquake looks like, and I can overlap them and say, well, one is not the other because of the seismograph charts.
Yeah.
It's the same thing when I look at the infections and the states that they're in and look at the huge arrests for child trafficking in this country in the last 60 days and overlap them. Why am I a conspiracy theorist? Why?
Because
you say I am?
We've got to remember, everybody here knows, if they've been following me from the beginning, if they've been following you, they know that the words conspiracy theorist were designed to create doubt in truth. And
Absolutely.
It's just like MK Ultra. As long as the CIA can put doubt into the minds of the people that are hearing the truth, then that's all they've done. Their mission is complete. They have to have doubt. So conspiracy theorist is a convenient way to create the doubt.
Yeah. Because I'm a YouTuber. Preacher says because I'm a conspiracy theorist because I'm a YouTuber. So if my dumbass was named Jim Acosta, right? If my dumbass was named Jim Acosta and I sat there and I made stupid statement after stupid statement and got paid $500,000 a year for making false statements, proven false statements, and wore a tie and a suit and a jacket and stood in front of a green screen of the White House and held a microphone, does that make it true? Does that make that dumbass guy?
You realize there is. Well, I was just going to say there's already a dumbass named Jim Acosta, so you don't have to name your dumbass Jim Acosta. So okay. I just wanted to throw that in there.
Matter of fact, I can name myself after my uncle, John Costa. How about that? That's my uncle, John Costa. I'm John Costa for CNN. Does that make
speaking of CNN, did you catch the briefing last night with that back and forth with that CNN guy that tries to look like some kind of little tough guy down there? We got his beard trimmed, and somebody made a good point. He looks like a character that played Lucifer in Passion of the Christ or something like that. And I thought that was kind of funny, but this dude's doing the back and forth with the president, kind of doing the oh yeah kind of stuff. You just want to walk over there and just shut up, you know. But that's the kind of crap we have to put up with.
You know, that's a lottery, right? Those people who get to sit in those press briefings is a lottery. They get their name pulled out of a hat, and then they're allowed to seven of them are allowed to stay in there and be separated and stuff. And somehow, that moron has been in there 3 times. I don't get it. I don't get how
weird, right?
You are the president of the United States of America. You are the most powerful man in the world. Okay, the most powerful man in the world, and you're sitting in front of a group of journalists, and the guy is basically he's abusing you as the president. I would say Secret Service, arrest him, get him out of here right now. Arrest him. I want him off my property. You're the president. I don't give a shit about your freedom of speech. You just insulted me in my own house.
Yeah, but here's the thing. If he did that, he already did that with Jim Acosta. He took his credentials away, told him, get the hell out. And you saw what happened. The left exploded. The media got all over it. The population got behind Jim Acosta because they're that stupid. They can't see the writing on their own walls. But so he can't do that. All he can do is he can do the back and forth banter and let them come across as more and more stupid. So that's probably more effective than losing the battle with the population by saying, arrest that man. Although that would be so satisfying to a lot of us, it would be a real red flag to the that just refuse to wake up.
Yeah. You know what? That's why I can't hold office. I can't hold office. Because I would be the type of politician that would say, Jim Acosta asked me a question. I'm going to say, Jim, you're an idiot. Okay, period. You're an idiot. Don't talk to me.
I would do that.
Something intelligible to say. Period. And then
I would be quite satisfied. I would be quite satisfied if just once the president just came out. If he just came out and said, good question, you're an idiot. And then next question. If he just did something like that, I mean, I've got a pretty solid back on my chair, but I'd still fall out of it. I mean, I would fall right to the floor. I don't care how it had to happen. If I went over the armrest or something, but somehow I would end up on the floor and I'd be quite satisfied.
Yeah.
But just once I would like to hear him say, that's a really good question. You're an idiot. Next question. And just let it go with that. That would be awesome.
I would like it. And like one person said in there, Pete will be coming across the desk. You're right. I'm the president of the United States. I can slap the crap out of you and not get arrested. I can do that. I'm the president.
That's right.
In the Oval Office.
Well, he is the president.
I will slap you until you
so
soil your
delegate.
Right.
Here's the thing. The president of the United States doesn't even have to do it himself.
No.
Why would he want to dirty his hands? You go over there and slap him for me.
Exactly.
So it is done. There, it is said and it is done.
Yes. So shall it be?
Yeah, written? I'd like to hear it. Yeah. So shall it be done? I know that briefings, the president is coming across slightly more aggressive, taking less shit now than he has taken before, which is really nice. I would like to see him step that up one more notch. And if we get what we've been told we're going to get, which is this 3 days of darkness, if it was going to happen in the most appropriate time, we've been told this is going to be biblical. The president says that Good Friday should be a very good day. Yes. If we were going to get the 3 days of darkness, if I was going to do it, I would start it at midnight tonight so that it is the 7th. Then you have the 7th, 8th, and 9th with the resurrection of the world on the 10th, bringing everything back up on the 10th. But I don't know if they could do this thing realistically that quickly. But anyway, we may not actually see a blackout. I've heard several different ways of this thing being done. One of them being the 3 days of darkness is controlling their communications with 10 days of military operations to bring in the change.
Do you remember?
What have you heard?
Do you remember a while ago when the president first got into office and he said, I'm going to do a test. I'm going to do a test. I'm going to do a test on the cell phones. I'm going to make sure that everybody can get a thing on your cell phone. You remember that?
Yes.
That emergency alert?
Oh, I remembered. I got it.
I took a picture.
I actually got one. So.
Yeah. Do you know that emergency alert was done without cell towers? It was done through analog systems and not digital systems. Look it up.
I had heard that, but that's so far beyond my understanding and above my pay grade. I know that he can send the signal to every device, even if it's never been activated. So devices that are hanging on the wall at Walmart that somebody hasn't bought yet can be receiving the emergency broadcast system.
Absolutely.
I don't know how they do that.
That is an analog signal. It's an analog signal. So this phone, even though this phone is off, this phone is still picking up a signal. It won't pick up a digital signal because the computer inside is telling it that the phone is off. But an analog signal, think of Morse code, right? Think of Morse code. Morse code goes over lines, right? It goes over a line, okay? Just think of a ham radio. Uses the atmospheric bounce. It doesn't always use repeaters. Think about it. I mean, seriously.
Yeah, in CBs we call it. In CBs we call that skip.
Yep.
I used to have a base station set up in Iowa, and I used to talk to this guy in Jamaica all the time.
Sure.
So, you can skip if you get a good signal.
That's right. These phones right here.
Anyway,
these phones, they're digital. I mean, they're not digital. They're analog. They can pick up a digital signal.
Phones.
Right? This is an actual flip phone, and it's a new one, but it's not digital. It's analog.
Right. Well, that's just like your regular TV channels. They used to come in. You didn't need to pay for cable or anything. You used to just turn on your TV, a simple set of antenna, and you get your channels. They stopped that because they knew they could make money by making everything digital. But what they didn't do is they didn't shut off the atmosphere. So you still have them, and you can still buy antennas now that translate the signal, but the analog is still there. My question is, how are they translating it into a digital format? But like I said, that's above my pay grade, and better off that I leave that alone. Let that be for the professionals, and I'll just stay over here as a stupid YouTuber.
Yeah, we're just the dumb YouTubers. We don't know anything about bouncing signals or nothing like that. We don't know nothing about that because we just the dumb YouTubers.
Right.
You don't know that your cell phone can send a signal to your producer's cell phone. You don't know that. That's just that because you're just a YouTuber. And then your wife's phone can send it to the person next door's phone. You don't know that. That's okay.
Yep. That's all ridiculous.
That's called military technology.
All right. Oh, yeah. Don't say that out loud. Oh, wait, you just did. All right. Well, that's a full hour. I mean, we just cooked it, baked it. So that's all of it.
Oh, man.
Any final enlightening thoughts that you might have on the way out the dough, and then we'll finish this thing up?
Not really. I think we pretty much covered absolutely nothing because, after all, Alex, we are dumb YouTubers. We don't know anything.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, KTLA is the one that reported that on the trafficking arrest over there by you.
Yes. KTLA. Yeah.
Okay, so my wife just told me you might want to look at that if you want.
Okay.
But we used to have all those news channels. But all right. Well, this has been awesome. To my moderators, thank you for keeping the house in order. To everybody that's hung out here for the last hour, appreciate, love you guys. And everybody that joined me on Facebook and D Live, thank you very much. Boy, there's some cool memes and posts that get put over on DLive.
I know there's
Duke just threw a spiraling thing in there. It's pretty wicked.
Hold on.
I've stolen a fair amount of them. But anywho, thank you, Pete. You rock the joint as always. And I appreciate you being here. We will see you guys on Wednesday, if not before. But until then, stay in the fight.